Thank you all so much for clicking on my video and welcome to my channel, Lovely Moments Creating. My name is Jenny and in today's video we're just going to make a mini library using some of these books from the Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to make a DIY out of this first book. So I picked out some books that I'm interested in reading at the Dollar Tree, but this one I'm not. I'm going to be using this one to create a DIY. So for this one, just find something that you're not going to read, that you don't mind taking a cover off and just doing something else to it. But I found me some really good reads, so I cannot wait to get my little library set up. Now the Dollar Tree had these burlap fabric sheets, and I thought this polka dot one was so pretty, so I am going to use it to cover up this book. Now this DIY is going to actually be a cup holder for my coffee. So what I'm going to do first is just place the book inside of the fabric. Now I am going to cut the fabric where the folds are. It'll just make it look more neater, and then I can use those other sheets of fabric for future projects. So I'm just going to line it up and cut the other side. Now this is going to be really easy to cover because I'm going to just be using some hot glue, and what I'm going to do is just pull it really tight, and I'm going to add the hot glue to the book and then press the fabric down, and that way I could just cut off any extra small pieces of fabric, just so it won't be so thick. You can leave it like this because the book will be closed, but I'm just going to cut off any extra fabric. After I get this side done, I am going to close the book, and then I'm going to flip the fabric over because I want to make sure that I measure how much fabric I need while the book is closed, so that I know I have enough to stretch over. So once I have that measured, I'm just going to hold that and add some hot glue to this side as well. Once I get that complete and pressed down, then I will just be doing the same thing for the bottom, folding it up and then adding some hot glue. Now for that little middle piece, I don't have to cut anything out there out of the middle section of the book. As you can see, I'm folding from the middle to the end, and then when I flip it over to do the other side, that middle piece is going to kind of gather itself, and you'll see what I mean. So I'm just going to fold as much as the fabric down, add some hot glue, and then with the middle section, it kind of just rolled in there and was able to be tucked. I'm going to repeat this step to the other side of the book and fold down those pieces, and then as you can see right here, right there, it just kind of tucks itself in. So I'm just going to repeat that step to the other side and get everything tacked down. Once that is complete, this is how the book looked, and I absolutely love covering books. So I'm just going to get that tucked in and just add a little hot glue to keep it down, secured if necessary. And then now what I'm going to do is take my scissors to push down anything into the creases. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I sure did. It was just a really nice weekend, and now I'm ready for the week. So to embellish this a little bit, I found these really pretty wildflowers in the Dollar Tree, and I wanted to go with this color because it matched some decor in the room that I'm going to style this in. So I'm just going to cut off 2 of these stems, and I am going to add these to the top of the book, and I'm just going to take some jute cord and wrap it around the book to keep these florals secured on here, and it is going to keep the book closed because like I mentioned earlier in the video, I will not be reading this book. This is for decor purposes only. So I'm wrapping it on a slant just like this, giving it a little bit of character, and then I am just going to tack it down at the bottom once I have a few rows wrapped around. I really do like book decor, styling things on books. You can set a candle on top of books, and I just think that they look really nice and high end when you decorate them. So what I'm going to be using with this is the Dollar Tree have those round wood slices. So I am going to be using one of those to add to the top of this book. What I'm going to do first is just use a little bit more of this jute cord to create a really basic bow and just hot glue it right on top of the florals. This is really simple. Now for that round wood slice, I am going to take some Mod Podge and go over it because I will be using this to set my coffee cup on, and just in case anything spill, I want to protect it. Now this would be really cute if you set a candle on here as well. And what I'm going to do is just use my little foam brush to spread the Mod Podge around, and then after that is complete, what I'm going to do is just hot glue it right to the top of the book. I don't want to paint this. I actually love the natural color. I think it matches the fabric pretty good. So I'm just adding hot glue to the bottom, and then I'm going to place it right next to my florals, and that is it. This is absolutely adorable, and I can add my coffee cup to it, and I think this will look really cute if you styled a candle on top of this as well. Now for my mini shelf unit to hold my books, I'm going to be using 4 of these signs here from the Dollar Tree and 1 of these trio of signs. Now what I'm going to do first is remove the jute cord hanger off of 3 of these signs. I'm going to leave it on one sign at the top because later on they can give me the option to probably hang this or use this for something else. So now what I'm going to do is flip the first 3 signs over, and I'm going to be attaching these using some wood glue and some hot glue. I want this to be nice and secure. So for the first sign, I went all the way across with the wood glue, forgetting that I needed to add my hot glue because I really don't like mixing them together, but I went ahead and done it for the first one. But when I got to the second one, what I like to do is alternate the glues. So you will see me on the second one add a dab of wood glue, and then in between those I will add the hot glue, and that's just so the glues can do what it needs to do separately, which is the hot glue going to give the instant hold and the wood glue is going to give it a more secure hold. So once I have that attached, you can use some painter sticks or some craft sticks to add extra security, but I am going to actually use these tumbling blocks. I had them handy and I just decided to use those since I will be using those when I get to the front of the sign. So I'm just going along where I attach the signs together, adding these tumbling blocks. And the Dollar Tree does have the mixture of colors of tumbling blocks, and then they do have the all unfinished wood color. So now I'm going to add my 4th sign. So what I'm going to do is turn this sign over, and I'm going to be attaching this to the bottom. Now when I add it, I'm going to add it as a shelf, and I'm not going to go under the signs. I'm going to go right on top of the bottom. That way that bottom piece won't have to carry the weight of all 3 of those signs. And as you can see, I'm going right on top of the rim of the bottom, alternating my glues, and then I'm going to place that right on top to get that nice and secured, and so I don't have to worry about carrying the weight of all 3 of those signs. This is a really simple shelf DIY. I thought this would be perfect for my little mini library that I just wanted to add to this little accent table that I have. I usually sit at this table to do like my little crossword puzzles because I love those. And so I thought, let me jazz this little area up a little bit. And so what I'm going to do is add those other trio of shelves. I'm going to take the jute cord off of those because I'm only going to be using 2. And this shelf unit could be used for other areas in the home. I just thought it would be perfect for a little mini library. So what I'm going to do is let this sit while I attach my other signs. And I'm just removing the staples first so that I can remove the jute hanger. So after I remove the staple, then my jute hanger will come off and then I can take these apart. And so what I'm going to do is add my first small shelf unit. I'm just going to find my placement, and then I do want to add it within one of the creases. So what I'm going to do is just take some hot glue for this part, and I'm going all the way over to the side. I know I'm out of camera a little bit, but I'm all the way up against the side. And then for extra security, I'm going in with these tumbling blocks, and I'm going to add 3. 3 is the length of this sign, so it's going to keep it nice and secured. And I am adding hot glue and wood glue, and I'm also making sure I add the glue up against the bottom and up against the sign for a secure hold. And so what I'm going to do is repeat that step for all 3 of these tumbling blocks. And so I kind of just lined them up first to make sure that all 3 will fit, and the 3 was the perfect number. So once I get that secure, I am going to be adding another one, and I'm going to place that shelving unit on the other side, and that's how that looked. And I'm going to go within one of those creases again, all the way up against the side, adding my hot glue first. And then what I'm going to do is just add my wood glue and my hot glue to the little shelf and the sign first. That way I could just go in and place my 3 tumbling blocks. You can embellish this with some words, or you can add some floral to this, which I think will look really pretty. But I'm going to leave mine like this because I'm going to add some little decor items on the shelf. But I think this came out really perfect for what I wanted to do. I found these cute little signs that says relax and think at the Dollar Tree as well. And then I added a candle to the bottom, and that little planter is a DIY I made in the past. I also got the little candle at the top from the Dollar Tree as well. Now I do want to make me some bookmarks, so what I'm going to do is just be using these tags here from the Dollar Tree along with these really cute wood leaves, and they are pretty thin. Those wood leaves are like the razor thin cut ones. And so I do have another style, and I'll bring those out in a minute, but I'm going to be making 3 bookmarks. So I'm just going to pull out 3 of these little tags. This is really simple, but I think it's really cute for my little mini library. So all I'm going to do is pull out one of these little wood leaves from each pack. I do have a Kindle, and I do like to do the audio books, but I think just creating this little library, it's really beautiful decor in your home, as well as it's a nice place to go and sit. And sometimes I still like reading actual books. It's just something I used to do years ago with my mother. My mother was a book reader, and even before she went to be with the Lord, she would not switch over to no Kindle. She loved reading her books, and my sister-in-law ended up getting all of my mother books because she's a reader too. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to create me a little cute mini library for a space to go and just remember my mother and just relax. I added a hook from the Dollar Tree onto my shelving unit so I can just hang my bookmarks up there, and I just think this is adorable. So this last DIY, we all have seen it. I do this at the office as well. And that's just adding these florals to the top of pens. And the reason why I wanted to do this for my miniature library is because I do a lot of crosswords. I do that in my downtime. I think that it's so relaxing, and it keeps my brain sharp. So I wanted to have some pens out, but I didn't want them to look like pens because I wanted to give this a nice feel to it, a nice look to it, still having that decor feel. So what I did while I'm running my mouth is I poured the bottom out of the pens, and so the ink can stay secured, I just made sure that I added that stem right inside where I poured the little tab, as you can see it, and I'm just going to plug that up like this. Now I'm adding hot glue just to keep it nice and secured. Now you can use that floral tape, the green floral tape, but I'm going to use some jute cord to wrap my pen up with. And I'm going to wrap it all the way down. I don't want to wrap it all the way to the end because I want to make sure that my top still fits on there so my ink pen won't dry out. So when I get close to the top, I'm just going to remove the top a little bit. I'm going to take it off, and I'm just going to add the jute cord down just a little bit more. I'm just making sure that I get it as close to the top as possible so you won't see the white part. As you can see right here, I'm just going to wrap it down a little bit and then add the top back to make sure it fit. And that is it for this. I'm going to clip off the excess, and then I can add my pens inside of those little planters that I made in the past, and it just looked like a cute little floral decor piece. And I absolutely love how this turned out. It is so adorable. So I just added my softback books, some inspiration books, and my crossword books inside of that box that I made in my last video. I made it for my remote control and some books, so I just added it to this little table, and I think it fits perfect. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching today's video. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel because I would love to have you here. As always, in the comment section below, let me know which one of these DIYs were your favorite. And until next time, my sweet friends, stay safe so that I can see you in the next video.